Hello again. Hello. Here we are. We are going today to study a new lesson, and this lesson is techniques of creative problem solving. It's not only speaking about solving problems, it's also the help for your mind, for your ideas, for the creative projects. And when you need that, you need to focus on these techniques, methodologies, and etc. that we have explained. As you remain on the last lesson, we spoke generally about what the creative thinking is and how to focus on our creativity and how to go from the biggest to the smaller, how our mind works, etc. etc. So, there are some techniques that you can use in different projects, in different cases, that you would like to have new ideas to improve your project, etc. in different stages of the creativity. Not all the creative projects are stuck in the same level or in the same moment, so we have different methodologies for different types. For example, brainstorming is a general technique that I think you know already, and it means that everybody puts on the table, on the paper, on the wall, everywhere, as many ideas as they can. It is important when you do brainstorming that you don't have limitations and you don't limit your creativity. As we talked on the last lesson, you don't have to feel judgments, for example. This period of time is to be as big as you can and focus on giving as much ideas as you can and different solutions. And these branches and these different ideas are going to find new proposals that can help you to develop new products, for example, with marketing strategies and so on. A different methodology for the earlier stages, for example, is mind mapping. Which is mind mapping? Is making a map of ideas and making these branches with the ideas that come one from the others. What is interesting from this methodology is that you can have a physical idea and a picture of what the situation is and look at it generally, as we see here. You can put colors to organize those ideas, you can reorganize them, but it's very good for a visual representation of the problem and then trying to find out some solutions, for example. It is ideal for complex problems. Okay, so this technique, brainstorming, is just generally we have to launch a new brand or a new product, and then we start giving up our ideas and so on. So this we use brainstorming. But if we are with a concrete problem that is quite complex because we don't know why our cells have decreased, and we are trying to find out how to improve our products. So we can do this methodology, mind mapping, to put on the table all the problems, all the possible solutions, and have a very clear picture of what is going on. So this is for difficult problems. Well, now you can read also and study about the design thinking process methodology. This is a methodology I use a lot with my students, for example, for with their PhD or the thesis research or the master thesis, because it is a methodology that comes from design, from the engineering design and prototyping, but you can use that for the art works, for the artists, but also for the writers, or if you write a project or a prototype or whatever. It's very useful, these stages, and it's especially focused on the final user, on or the end user, but also at the end of your idea. You cannot, you all the projects you do not only need one final client. It can be yourself, or it can be a thesis, or it can be another product. So how it works? You need to emphasize and start learning what do you want, and seeing. To do that, you need to read, to look at movies, to go to the places where this kind of project or whatever is done, and be permeable with all that ideas. Then you start defining and learning what do you exactly need, and starting to see what do you really need, and then you start the ideation. You cannot ideate before you have empathize and define it. The good thing of this methodology is that you can go back whenever you want to. Imagine you have empathized, you are permeable with these people, what the product is, and then you start defining and you ideate, and then you think it's not what you needed, you can go back and start again. Once you have ideated the project that you wanted, you start the prototyping, and you do the first version of your product, your project, whatever, and then you start testing it, and you can go back prototyping after the test, for example, you um, detect some bad processes or things were not working as you want. So you go back to prototype, or maybe to the EDA. So this way is always reversible, and it's very interesting. We will talk in this lesson also about the six thinking hats. What is the six thinking hats? It's a very interesting technique for more different processes with creative thinking. For example, if you have a company, and you have a problem and you don't know how exactly to deal with this problem, you find people that have to look at this problem from the different point of view. And for example, the white hat focuses on facts of the problem, data and information. The red hat focuses on represents emotions, feelings and intuition. Black hat encourages critical thinking and identifying potential obstacles. Yellow hat goes with optimism. For example, the yellow is related to these feelings. Green hat for creativity, new ideas, and blue hat manages thinking process, ensures it that. So you start a debate where every people um, give their own opinions, focusing on that items, and very good ideas will come. Finally, the five whys is a technique that for each problem you have a concrete problem, you have to find out five more questions of it. Here you have a very clear example of it. For example, my problem is I ran out of red light in my car. Why? Uh, or my situation, because I arrive late to work. Why I arrive late to work? Because I wake up late. Why? Because the alarm didn't work. Why? Because the battery was exhausted. Why? I forgot to check it. Root case, I need to check the battery before I wake up, and done. So this is a very simple example, but sometimes it's difficult to find out the case of your problem. So it is important to focus on this. The scamper technique is a different technique where you have to go through all these phases and within a problem to think to solution this problem. So you need to, if you have a product, you can think of substituting it, what kind of substitutes you can have, you can combine it, you need to adapt this product to a new audience, new whatever, you have to modify it, it's important to modify it or don't, to put in another use, eliminate it or reverse. So this is once you have a product, a project, whatever, you analyze if really it is the potential it has to do, or if something is not working properly, you need to improve that. So you can use this technique to improve it. And finally, yes, the last we explain here about there are more, but here these are the more important ones. It is the role playing. So it is a technique for the people to have different perspectives of the one with the hats, and it's very good for the experience design. So you give different personalities to test whatever you wanted, and to see what the reaction of the users is, so you can improve your project with it. This is more complex, and also it is when you have a final project or product. Here you have a video from YouTube where they explain these methodologies and some other more. Please look at it, because you will consolidate these concepts little bit more. It is explained more or less the same we have explained, so it will help to you. And finally, in the lesson, we are going also to speak about the integrating creative solving techniques into a business. If you are in a business, so you have to foster the creative culture, encourage your values to your workers, etc. It is very important to train your workers, your team, yourself, and develop some different projects, and also fail on that projects and stand up and continue doing other projects, doing workshops, seminars, and other kind of things. Also cross-functional collaboration, as we said, with the companies, with the universities, with startups, with different people that can help to you to your project. Embedding techniques in the workflow. These techniques and others sometimes be used to stop and rethink, evaluate, and continue. An interactive process, feedback loops is the same idea of doing this again. So I hope you have enjoyed the lesson. Please read that. It's not very long. You can read that easily. It's very interesting. And in the lesson, in the next class we have online next Thursday, we will work on these methodologies. We will choose two of them because we don't have time to do all of them, but we will choose two of them and you will put them in practice. So you will see how interesting it is and how to they work. Hope you have enjoyed, and see you soon. Bye bye.